The thoughts and views of this podcast and the sole views of the curators of this podcast is not the views of the United States Postal Service.
And we are back on the Route Podcast. That's right. All right, we back, y'all. Yeah, you know, on the Route Podcast is episode 34, fellas.
35. I think like 35.
35.
35.
Could be 35, 34. We'll figure it out. And this one is our anniversary pod because we've been literally doing this for about a year.
Yeah.
About a year now. Time moves fast.
What's the date?
Originally, we launched in April 1st. That's
Right.
when we launched it.
2023.
2023, yes.
2023.
We've been doing this for a long time. You know what I mean? So this episode, we're going to be talking about just the ups and downs of trying to do a pod. Neither one of us has ever done this before we started doing this.
Oh, hell
So it
no.
was a learning experience for us. A nice wild ride. You know what I mean? We had a bunch of guests. I'd like to thank all those guests that came through and made this happen for us. You know what I mean? So
Appreciate
we
you.
going. All the subscribers that really jumped on board and started rocking with us, man. We really appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? We're really growing as a pod, literally in front of y'all faces. You know what I mean? So before we get really into it, as always, my brothers introduce themselves.
Yo, y'all, this is Black. We out here, give y'all the information. You know, try to have some fun today. Talk about our experiences and, you know, let y'all know what we went through this past year of, you know, doing a pod. Because, like Rick said, it's new to all of us. So,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is B. Morton. I'll tell you how we went through the process, progress, you know, struggles, ups and downs of making this podcast, you know, being behind the scene, in front of the scene to you guys, camera giving you live insight on how we do this thing every day. How do we come with creative ideas and get people on and talk about things. So, I'm passing off to my man's right here, A. Ryan.
Man, I tell you, we done went through a lot with this shit. Oh my god. Yeah.
hey, Ryan.
Yeah. But it's all good, man. We about to break it down for y'all. We gonna have some fun talking about it.
And as always, the engineer, you know what I mean? I'm never low key, but I'm trying to learn how to stay low key, but it's not working. Now we're doing video. You know what I mean? But it's been a wild ride. It's been pretty fun. Learned a lot of new stuff. You know what I mean? I think we're gonna get into that. Just talking about what it meant to us to actually have to start a postal podcast. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you know, people always say when you want something done right, do it yourself. You know what I mean? So
True.
I think we all collectively realized that there was no type of outlet for people in the post office to actually have somebody to listen to that talks about the job on a day-to-day basis in terms of what you have to go through and what it's really like. Because we see the propaganda. I call it propaganda. That's right. Propaganda, post office commercials they want to show us. You know what I mean? But people who really do this job, we know what it's really like. And I think it's fair to the people that's trying to come in or the people that think about coming in that we talk about the real things that go on with this job so you can get a better assessment of whether or not you're built for this.
I want to emphasize that point that you just said because it's like it's more than just like information. We sharing experience and talking and you know, collaborating with other people in the post office, giving them a platform and everything. And you know, this is a great conversation. So y'all get an inside look at what we go through on a day-to-day basis.
And just give you relatable topics too, like get you a brief on what you think and like the things we go through. Everybody go through the post office. We give you experiences, how we feel about certain stuff, how we go through with management, how we deal with just things indirectly, rule books, you know, just different things that translate to other stuff that happens. You know what I mean? We all here carry, we all have similar things we might go through on our route, we might have different things go through our route, but like I said, we're all mail carriers here. We're all here to share information, give you guys something that can be relatable. You can take home, you can share with yourself, you can see it, you can believe, oh wow, I went through that too, my job basically, or I experienced that too. And it's like I said, all this here is information to give you guys just to understand who we are as carriers and how we feel about things and get the message across, because how else are you going to relate to somebody? No one else can relate to it besides mail carriers. So the thing is, we're going to be something that you can relate to. You can feel that's something that you can like, oh, well, dang, this really hit home. Or I can say the third, you can take it and use it basically. The power of information is something that you use and give to people. And that's what we do here. We give you information that's useful to you, use on your route, anything, topic-wise, anything. And it's just not for anyone, just, we're all for African Americans, but it's just people of culture, period. Any ethnic group. You can relate to it.
Male
any
culture.
topic. Yeah, it's a melting pot basically. That's what it is. A melting pot of information we give you out and we spread it out basically. Like I say, we are the world.
That triggered me.
Yeah, oh shit.
Nah,
Sorry,
shit,
sorry,
nah,
sir.
shit.
Sorry, sir.
Well, I'm gonna tell you one thing that we don't do on this pod. We ain't gonna give you no watered down commercial with somebody smiling, walking down the block, handing a random acting customer mail. That's what we're not gonna do. We're gonna tell you the actual truth because we ain't on the street cheesing. We ain't on the street smiling every day like you know this is the the thing to do and the greatest place to be. But it's not a bad place to be. But we're not walking down the street like, oh, how you doing? Here you go. Let's go. Every house though, nobody does that. Nobody's that happy on the street.
Not smiling on them LOV or like somebody, hey, how you doing? Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Or a customer brings you mail, you're like, oh my god. Like, no, it's not happening.
Or outgoing packages. So like, hey,
Yeah,
I'll
no.
take that.
No, it's not happening. So the real thing that happens is you deliver mail, your body gets fatigued the closer you get to the end of the route. If you got OT, you're fatigued doing OT. Like this is part of the job as a carrier. Your feet hurt, my feet don't really hurt anymore, but a lot of people especially if you're overweight, your feet gonna hurt. So, but it's still fun. You're still by yourself on the street. You ain't got nobody looking over your shoulder. You ain't got, you ain't got no manager, supervisor looking at you do your job and all that.
That's the best part about it.
Yeah, best part is you by yourself. But I don't like when I see those postal commercials. They make me mad and laugh at the same time because it's not realistic. I'm saying you could smile at one customer or two or three, but the closer you get to the end of the route, ain't no smiles. And especially if it's 90 degrees outside or raining or snowing. Like, no. Ain't nobody smiling when their socks is wet in their sneaks or their boots. Ain't nobody smiling if they cold. Ain't nobody smiling if they sweated out 2 shirts already. It's not happening.
Then you can ask a dumb question to me. Hey, well, man, can I see your output now? Or how's it going? How do you think I feel? How do you think I feel? Really? Go ask that dumb question.
Look, it's hot out here, mailman. Make sure you get something to drink.
Or stay cool, stay dry.
Stay dry. Like, what? How? Like, how is that going to... You had the best rain gear, the best dry fit clothes. You still going to sweat through the dry fit. And you still going to get wet through the rain gear. Especially if it's pouring. Or you done by your second block.
I just want to ask the customers, next time you ask me, you got shelter for me? You got somewhere I can warm up? I can get you some water? You got anything for me? You got shelter?
All right,
You want
now.
shelter?
All right now.
But yeah.
That ain't that. I'm just asking. That's just one of the most ignorant questions they keep asking. To me, oh, you stay dry. Or how much stay dry? You want to sit on the porch for a few minutes? Okay, all right.
But yeah, and it's even worse at a walking station because you ain't got no truck to get into. But yeah, on this pod, we're going to give it to you straight. We're going to give it to you real. We're going to let you know how we feel about it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people that, subscribers and people that listen understand. So, we just here to give you the real. We'll go from there.
And let me add that, like, we've seen like a lot of our comments and about our guests that we have on the show and things of that nature. Like, we've been trying since we started this pod to bring in a clerk perspective because a lot of clerks have actually said to us, hey man, you guys bring smile. Yeah, we're trying to do that. But the people that you see that we have as guests are the people who agree to be on the show. Because this is this America, this democracy. We can't force somebody to be on the show.
Running somebody's head like, come on, podcast.
Like we have not intentionally tried to leave out anybody or any craft.
Or any ethnic group.
Yeah, or any ethnic group. We've literally asked everyone we could think of, or you could think of, to actually be on a pod because we think about these things as a show in terms of trying to get the perspective of the different people because this job is a job of multicultural people, multifaceted people of different positions and different crafts. So obviously we want to have all these things expressed on the show. But at the end of the day, when you ask people, it's up to them to want to decide to come on the show or not. So we like to commend the people that you have seen and you have heard from on the show because they were willing to put themselves out there in a controlled space in terms of what you can say, what you can't say, and give you guys the information and their experience of working in the post office. So we want to commend those people who actually did do that because it's not that easy to go on a pod and just talk about your life and your personal experiences and your job and still contain yourself and keep a willing mind of knowing that, all right, I have to watch what I say because it's being recorded.
Right.
Or control your emotions too.
Exactly, and control your emotions. So we like to tip our hats off to the people who have been on the show. and we want our subscribers and the people that are watching our show to understand that what you see is literally what you're getting, because this is what we can do, because certain people, certain crafts just don't feel comfortable coming on the show as of right now. But we're trying we're trying to see if we can, get around to talking to different people, because we want people that are actually going to be on the show physically. We've had people call in and they want to call in. I'm like, that's not the same experience as people seeing you, especially now that we're doing video. We want people to see the person that's actually talking.
Well, with that being said, my thing is, I feel like more so it's a trial and error with you. Like, I mean, just be yourself and just follow the guidelines. It's not that hard. I mean, my thing is, people gotta come to a place of, when we have people on here, we have people to stay space. We tell people that we prompt people before they come on to our ambiance, period. So my thing is, you're gonna get an experience here, not no other. Like we say, we're gonna make you feel welcome here. It's not gonna be where a point where like, oh well, we asked you a hard copy, like, well, so what happened this day?
Nah.
Or something like, we're not giving you we give you dialogue, something that you can feedback and understand. We'll say, well, damn, these guys is actually like, I can relate to. It's more so of a conversation amongst people, amongst your peers, basically. Because like I said, certain things we might not know amongst each other or appear with you, basically, but you give us something that we can relate to, and we can all hinder like, oh well, I know somebody that been through experience, or I know how this feels on this day, basically, or this, that, and third. And it's like I said, we're all welcome to anything. We had management to craft, basically, so it's not a problem with anybody come on here. Like, we can ask certain things and be more so relatable and be educational too. Like I said, this is a fun, educational, and uplifting podcast we have here, basically. So the thing is, you come here to learn something, to gain something, to get laughs and experience. So where are you gonna find most places that you're gonna get all four wrapped into one? You're not gonna find that here. Nowhere else besides here.
All right. So with that being said, let's get into how we first started the podcast.
I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
So, yeah.
So the thing how we first started the podcast was we were all sitting on the phone one day asking like, well, where do we come up with something? Basically, the thing is, we were trying to figure out the logo first. That's what it was.
Now, even before that, so all right, so basically we started because we would be on the phone on the route. I know we're not supposed to do that, Bouquet. But
Man, damn no.
yeah,
Damn.
we got
Take me if you can.
It's for the mental health, bro. Mental health.
Yeah. This is crazy. Go ahead.
Sometimes we be on the phone and we just be having great conversations.
Supposedly.
We had great conversations and we was like, you know what, this would be a great podcast. We can't talk about everything that we talk about on here on the podcast with respect to everybody.
It'd be too raw for the streets to talk about.
Yeah. But we figured we go ahead and start a podcast. So.
Yeah, and like I said, dialogue field, we're talking about what can we talk about. The thing is, like, we actually had to figure out what it is. Like, we had to figure out content we're going to talk about, because when we originally started off, we were going to just have more topics of Ford than we're postal and the other things, and then we kind of got the feedback where I was like, well, why are you guys talking about this? Talk about more so postal related things, and we did that basically, and just like going through the process of hearing feedback, and also dealing with all four of us asking like, what is the main thing people want to hear? Like, we asked that all the time. Like, Rick can ask you guys numerous occasions of, what do you want to hear? What do you want to hear from us, basically? Because we give you something that we only give what the audience wants, basically. We're not going to be greedy about, we're going to talk about what we want to talk about. This is going to be that. No, we're giving something that you guys actually want to respond to and give and feedback that we want. So my thing is, we did that basically. We went through trials, like I said. Us going through figuring out how to put it on YouTube, how to figure out what's this, basically. Or figure out what we're to advertise to. Like, do we advertise to YouTube? Do we advertise to Facebook? Or what it is. Like, there's different revenues to get to this, basically, because it's a small group to fit through, but it's like you have a variety of it and can fit into it. So it's just the fact of reaching the people of hand to hand and figure out, okay, all right, how can I get this person? How can this person get a message across from A to B to C that everybody can understand? Because I done had hate mail to people. I done show all of us seen the pick, but like, what the hell are you guys doing? Why do you guys have a podcast? What is this for? What else? What do you guys tell Rick one day? You're gonna get fired for talking about it. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, how do you know this? Like, do you know this? Like we done had management on here. Like, people been talking about, oh well, why don't you do this? I'm like, well, how about you come in front of the camera? Oh no, I don't want to do that. So it's just like we had suggestions every day going through stuff. It's like your feedback is cool, but the thing is, it's kind of hard having four people and trying to agree on one thing and make it what it is. It's not that easy as you seem. Like, even now with the video concept like this, kind of make reels, trying to make relatable, basically, trying to figure out what the camera focus on, what topic basically, or have the camera everywhere. Like, we done asked you guys numerous cases of donations, basically. Like I said, you can have things and you can have it your way, and you can donate to it. It's not just saying to my, well, look, you know what I mean, we charge y'all $50. No, you can donate what you want, basically. I mean, like I said, it's a customer demand, basically. What do you guys want, basically, give you what you want, basically. That's what anything. That's what the podcast here, giving feedback to the post people to understand and relate, to take with your everyday topics and issues.
Well, Yes, and you know, this year has been, you know, I ain't keep it real. It's been chilling for me. I'm
Nah,
gonna
you
keep it
got it,
real because
Asshole.
with me, from my perspective, how it started. We were on the phone, like Aaron said,
Yeah, sir.
and
We be having some great conversations.
yeah, we be having some
High
even
intent conversation.
yeah, like not even just about the post office. Just we could be talking about sports. You know, Rick has a crazy background in music and producing. You know, I'm more spiritual and religious. Not saying nobody else isn't, but you know, I think about a lot of different things. Like like Brandon, he's multicultural. You got Aaron, he's that spiritual, earthy type dude. So,
I'm one with nature.
We all have different things we like to talk about. So there be times where we could just be sitting there, we can talk about religion all day long, or we can talk about music. We can talk about who said this, who said like we have those kind of conversations. And just like when the podcast started, we kind of started having those conversations, and we kind of leaned into talking about the post office more because that's what we all really have in common. That's what we do with the majority of our day. So mostly, this is what we do, and I don't mind having conversations. I can talk all day long. Mm-hmm. But it was kind of Aaron's idea to come up. He was like, oh, you know what, man? Because he's that guy. He's that guy to be like, let's do this.
I got ideas for days.
Oh yeah,
remember the black thing is we all asked for podcast. We was like, oh, we want to do it. Aaron, so I'm like, let's just try it out and see. We don't like it. Let's do it. We like because remember the first one we asked Rick was like, no, I ain't doing it. He's the first one. He's the first one to veto. He was the first one to veto and said, you like, no, I ain't doing it.
Let me finish.
But it was basically Aaron's idea. He was like, oh, we should try it. You know what I'm saying? And before I knew it, like me, in my head at the time, I was like, we ain't doing this. Man, this ain't happening. We can talk all day long. This ain't happening. Before I knew it, Aaron was like, yeah, I bought my mic and everything. I'm like, what?
Uh-huh.
And then Brandon was like, all right, I'm going to buy mine now. I'm like, both of these niggas got a mic now? And Rick was like, I already got mics. And I'm like, now I look retarded.
Yeah.
now I look stupid. I'm like, nah, I got to buy a damn mic. So, and mind you, our first couple podcasts, I didn't actually have a mic. I was sharing a mic. And then, because I didn't know what mics to buy, I'm like, what am I supposed to buy? Mm-hmm. And Rick was like, oh, buy this one. And he was like, I'm going to send you one on Amazon. And he sent me one, and I bought the mic.
Now you got the best mic and microphone stand.
Yeah, he does.
Well, no, the first mic Rick sent me broke. This was the second one he sent me to buy. So I bought this one. So I don't think it's the best mic, but it's probably the best mic. But anyway. But yeah, that's how it started for us. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't a believer in it. I didn't think it was ever going to really do anything. But I was like, let's just try it. And when you got people, they always say, multiple heads are better than one. So when you got one person in there and be like, we should just try it, and then everybody else is on board, then it's like, all right, let's go. And then you try it, and you're like, all right, I can do this. So it's good to have, guys around you, male or female, doesn't matter, whatever person, and can, just the willingness to try. The willingness to try will let you know, all right, it gives you that extra motivation to be like, all right, you know what? All right, let's go. And then you try it and you're like, oh, all right, I like it. Like, because I like doing this. I like talking trash to him. I like talking trash to anybody. I don't care what we talking about. I don't know. He'll tell you, I don't know squat about producing. Mm-hmm. I barely know anything about music other than the people I like. But, I do know something about people I don't like in the music industry. But we can talk about, like, he asked me a question the other day. What was the question? Was it Friday? Was it Friday, right? Was it Friday?
Might have been.
About music? Or no, we was in the office.
No, it was just me and him on the phone. The question about Buster and
oh yeah, Buster. So the question I asked them people out there was like, somebody made a post that who's more influential, Busta Rhymes or Ja Rule. And I posted, I said, watch people get this wrong. People are going to think about who their favorite is or who the better rapper is, which is not what influential means in terms of music. Influential is like who copies, who's more likely to have their style copied, which means that what they do is probably easier to download than the other person.
Ja Rule.
Well, yeah, he said it was Ja Rule. I said Busta Rhymes. And
I
he's
said
like,
Busta Rhymes too.
yeah, he said no, wrong. And I was like, all right, well, tell me why it's Ja Rule. And he was like, well, because everything everybody do today, they, you know, rap and sing and rap, or, you know, they're basically jocking his style. I was like, oh, people did the same thing with Bus. He's like, well, no, nobody's rapping fast like that. I was like, yeah, no, but people are animated. He said, they're not as animated as Buster was, and they're not doing the same thing the way Buster did it, but the way Ja Rule did it, a lot of people are rapping on a song and singing on the chorus. So I get that. Even to this very second, I still say Buster. Because he said in the last, 15 years?
About 15 years.
15 years, that's what people been doing, singing and rapping. I said, well, prior to that, it was doing all Buster. But, you know, I think it's a matter of opinion, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, like we went on with that conversation for what, like 45 minutes, an hour?
Easy.
Yeah, it was a good ass conversation. So we was already doing this prior to this. So, you know, we can't talk about it the way we talk about it. You know, I don't care how to. But we just have really good, meaningful conversations about categories and topics, and we can run on for hours. And then I'm assuming that's why Aaron said, oh, we might as well do a podcast. So, in my perspective, that's how it started.
And real quick, Rick, do you want to show the audience your shirt?
No, I do not. But
Yeah, oh, okay, all right.
you probably can see from here. The real people know what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like when they brought this up to me, I was like, nah, I ain't want to do it.
Why is that?
Because I'm like Black said a minute ago, you know, being in the music business, I've been doing the music thing for about almost 20 years. You know what I mean? Like talking about like actually trying to get into the business, like not making music itself. That's longer than that, but actually trying to be in the actual music business as far as like getting a deal, all those different things. Yeah. And I've been around, you know, the block a few times. You know what I mean? Everything from talking to major labels to talking to indie labels, that dealing with people that go on tour, dealing with people that, you know, that have to do with overseas marketing, things of that nature, trying to get your stuff in sync on TV shows and movies and commercials and things of that nature. So the main thing that came to my mind is like, okay, well, these guys gonna do a podcast about the post office, and I'm like, who the hell wants to hear about the post office? You know what I mean? Like, and then like, what's the target audience? You know what I'm saying? But because I've been in this, in terms of music business for so long, my brain is wired to, you have to figure out who your target audience is. And then I thought about it, I'm like, there's a post office in every freaking city, in every state, and that's at least like about a good 5 to 6 million people. So I'm like, that's the target audience. So that's what made it make sense to me. It's like, oh, it might be actually easier than doing a podcast about something else. Because a podcast about something else, you gotta figure out what your target audience is. We kind of already knew before we even started. It's our coworkers. Mm-hmm. There's enough of them to carry the podcast for it to actually have some type of, you know, credibility and type of growth. Because who's gonna care about what the hell we're talking about? It's besides people who do what we do.
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's enough people that do what we do for the pod to be alive and for it to be vibrant. So I'm like, all right, that's right. I'm like, but I told him, I said, it's a lot of work. This shit ain't gonna be easy. Like, you know, we just see the finished product of what people do on podcasts. You know what I mean? Like, I said this before I even knew how to really make a podcast. But I was looking at other podcasts, seeing what they were doing, and I was trying to, in terms of the technical side, and I was trying to, you know, figure it out. And you know, and YouTube is a great device to help. That's one thing I will say. Like, YouTube is literally,
University.
Yeah, YouTube is about to put colleges out of business. You know what I mean? Because certain things that you paid 80 grand to learn for 4 years, you can just sit on YouTube for free for probably a year and probably learn it.
Not even free, the subscription fees can get more detail. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, cause I've learned a lot in terms of just how to do a podcast, engineer a podcast, just from watching YouTube and watching the people before us do it.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'll speak on that. No, I mean, it's the struggle. Like I said, my thing is like this more so when we went in detail with video, like just editing, like more so just as far as looking at video, pick up certain things, like you might see stuff that's error, or might see something that's not public oriented, say that people might want to pick up on, or just doing reels, basically. Like I say, like a situation Rick told me previously before, like reels, like people switch over certain things, like you deal with detail behind that, like just focus on things that make sure that gets the content across, that makes people want to engage and grab gas to what's going on. Because I say, my thing is, I could be, like I said, I could be late with certain things here and there. I could do better. Me as person that, but I'm learning detail every day. Basically, like I said, follow things, learn stuff like it's kind of like when you have more than one person with that, like, and the things you're gonna learn, we're gonna have like we have disagreements on certain things. Like I said, it's been times like that, but these are the 3 guys I can have disagreements with my family. I can be like, all right, cool, fuck it. I can just I'm gonna take what he's gonna say, like he like him right here. He's a say LB. He's like, yo, man, just do what I say. Yo, you gonna do this right here. It's gonna get done. You gonna do this way. It's not gonna be done. Like, all right. But then I talk to these 2. They more civilized. I'm like, all right. Let me see. I said, I let him talk to them. I'm like, all right. What you say? What he say? He's like, all right. Well, look, just do it this way and break it down. And it's more so figuring out how to do it. Like I said, it is something that you really have to be. I commend with it. You have to be 100%. You have to be in. Like, yo, this gotta be all the distractions put to the side. You gotta have it. Like, all right, look, this is straight and narrow right here. We into it. Like, you gotta put time into it. It's something you can't just say like, well, you know, I'm gonna do this and then have my regular life. I done had multiple arguments about this stuff, like with my significant other about things like, look, yo, this is what I want to do with my life. Like, and the thing is, it cuts into your time. And the thing I saw something that Ryan Clark said, basically like, you can't be extraordinary being ordinary. You can't. You can't be extraordinary being ordinary. You can't. And that's the thing about it. Like, you have to do something basically like getting up and doing things that's not the ever regular day-to-day things you have to do. You have to make yourself stand out, make yourself be creative. Like, all right, I might cross over left, right here, that way. You got to make yourself do certain things. Your mind's going to be tapped into your regular things you want to do about stuff. It's like you got to add things into it to layer it out. If you don't layer out the facts you want to do in life, you're going to be on a straight and narrow path and never going to get to where you want to succeed or succeed what you want to be at.
Let me touch on that point you just said a second ago about you can't be extraordinary being ordinary.
Yeah.
That's the main thing I think for people that's listening and that's watching. Like, whatever you might have an idea on that might be out of the ordinary train of thought, that might be confirmation him saying what he said for you to act on.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Because God don't just give you an idea just for no reason. He's trying to get you to get to a place where you really belong. You know what I'm saying? Because some of us, we try to fit into whatever the ordinary box is, and it doesn't work for you. And you realize it doesn't work for you because you don't feel welcome there. You know what I mean? That's a clear sign that you should be doing something greater with your existence.
Yeah, it's imposter syndrome.
Yes. You know what I mean? So act on that.
I never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's like,
imposter syndrome. They say
it's like you trying to be Clark Kent when you're really Superman.
Exactly, yeah, because that's the funny thing about it. Somebody touched on it. They said, we look at, you know, all those other heroes or whatever, they're all regular people that put a mask on to be somebody different. Whereas he already is somebody different, and he puts a mask on to look like everybody else.
puts a cape on, basically. Yeah, put glasses.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Glasses.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so, if that might be, what he just said a second ago might be confirmation for you that's looking at this at home to be like, yo, the idea you had is not a crazy idea. Just act on it. You'd be surprised where it takes you.
I feel like since we've been doing this, each and every one of us has grown a lot and got out of our comfort zone and doing certain things.
I feel like the same guy.
Yeah, I'm not
Why you say that like Lego Batman?
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Ross said, push you to the limit. It definitely do push you to the limit of the abilities. Think about, well, what do I have to do? Because it's been previous nights I've been up. I tell them I've been up 3-4 in the morning trying to push the podcast. Like, yo, what can I do? Like, I'd had like not no nervous breakdown. I'd had the point like, well, what the hell else can I do for this podcast? Like, what else? Like, what's the next thing to get? Like, I just DM somebody like other day like, yo, can I like what can you do for this person if they're like? And it's just I feel like by this being that small space and you have a few people that lead the race, they don't want to give the baton back. They don't want to hand it back to you. So it's like you're racing against your peers to get to a spot. And it's like, well, won't you just elevate me so we can grow together? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if you do it for comedy. I don't care if you do it for love. Whatever you do it for, just hand the baton back, bro. Like, if you have the leeway, you can hand it back to somebody else. Like, there's nothing wrong with helping anybody. Period. With the space, we're talking about the same thing. You're using the post office as a platform. Whatever you do, regardless how you do it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you some things I learned on this podcast about these three gentlemen here. Now,
Shit.
All right now. All right.
Right now.
for one, these gentlemen, I gave them credit prior to the podcast as far as their intelligence, but I don't believe I did them a service. I believe I did them a disservice in the credit that I gave them. They should have gotten more. I didn't know that these brothers were as intelligent or as controlled in what they say and how they say it. Like, you know, knowing what to say how to say it, when to say it, and when to intervene and when to jump in because and in their respective fields, like you take Rick for example, he's the crazy one right here, him. And,
Oh shit.
but, when we first started the pod, first day down here, I was sitting on like a little beanbag over there, and he was like,
"That's not comfortable."
No, it was.
That's a little bit.
I was dozing off. I was dozing off. And we was probably down here like not even long, right? Like 45 minutes, hour.
Yeah,
Rick was sitting right there on the side of me on the floor.
Yo, we
on
had
the
one
computer.
mic sharing one mic.
Oh yeah, I'm sharing one
So
more
he was on the computer. He's like, well, what kind of beat should we have on the podcast? We talking about beats and all that. And I'm dozing, like, when I'm comfortable, it's over. And I'm dozing, and he's over there doing stuff. 10 minutes later, he plays a fucking beat, and I'm like, this shit was hot. I was like, hold up. You did this in 10 minutes? I was like, hold up, that's a good beat. He was like, oh, I've been doing this for like 20 plus years. I'm like, bro. I'm like, seriously, I didn't give him enough credit. I was surprised. I was sitting there, I was wide awake then. I was surprised. I was like, dog, he really did that kind of a beat in 10 minutes. I was like, is this the kind of stuff that happens? Where have I been? And then, like, my man A-Ron, like, how he talks. Like, mind you, when I first met A-Ron, was at Roxborough Station when I came in. I actually bumped him off the route that I've been on. And
I'm gonna go right for no more.
How you say Aaron? Lord.
so
That's when I had some joke names for you too.
so
I ain't gonna say it on the podcast, but sick of y'all.
So Rick told me about Roxborough, and
You and Cole, yeah, you and Cole.
Coldplay.
When I was at CCA, Cole was getting on my nerves, y'all. I swear. All right, that's it.
he a bumping fiend. But what's the name? He was on 23 route. I came on 23 route. And Rick told me he's like the guy over here on that route. He'd been chilling on it, and I'm like, what do you mean on that? This is the post office here, man. I need that route. I came in and I seen him. I was like, this nigga big as shit. I seen him. He was like, yeah. You need help on this route? I was like, yeah, dog, yeah. I didn't know the route. I didn't know what was on it. He was like, this one block is really bad. I was like, damn, what a bad route. Rick told me it was easy over here. But yeah, but the way A-Ron do stuff, and his biggest quality is the control of his emotions. Like it's insane. Cause I'm telling you, I'm gonna keep it real with you.
Especially for his age. Still.
Yeah,
Some people would disagree with you, but all right, sorry.
Yeah, probably relatives, but that's right about it. I'm talking about outside of that, from as long as I've known you, that it's like me personally, I can control my emotions, but not like that.
Yeah.
Like, some things happen, I'm like, nah, the gloves are off. We throwing fisticuffs. Let's go. But the way he, like, even at work, there's plenty of times at work where I got mad and I let people have it. A-Ron be like, it's cool, all right, whatever. I'm like, huh, bro, what? Knock this nigga out. Like, no, there's no way. But yeah, his emotions, he got them in check. As far as I don't know, I don't remember him. I don't remember him getting mad. Do you remember him getting mad at that thing?
Not a job.
Not a job. Outside the job.
Yeah.
Outside the job, yeah, I see the man.
When?
I've seen him, man.
When? I haven't seen it.
I pissed him off.
Like he told us his own stories about when he was pissed.
No, but I'm the motherfucker pissing him off more than anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's true.
That's something
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like to me that's his biggest fight. Brandon, on the other hand, I'll tell you, boy, Brando would take you through some stuff, bro. He would take you through some stuff.
Wild card. That's the wild card. I'm there. I told you. I met
This boy.
I'm gonna tell you why Brando.
Brandon grew a lot, though. I would say that.
Oh yeah, he
growing
did.
a lot.
But I'm gonna tell you why he goes through life and keeps moving forward. The reason why Brandon keeps moving forward is because he knows how to take a hit. And you know what I'm saying, he may talk about it, he may, complain sometimes, but he knows how to take a hit and take the advice, and he knows how to, sometimes make the adjustment. Sometimes Oh no, nobody's perfect.
I ain't perfect, but I'm damn
Sometimes
sure
he
perfect.
Sometimes he need help.
That's right.
But his biggest quality is he's resilient. He'll keep it going, and he'll, even if he's bad at it, he'll try to finally get something out of it, which is cool. And that's why I like working with these brothers.
And Black is the voice of reason.
Can I speak on? Speak on everybody. Can I speak on everybody? And you should just speak on everyone. Can I do that, sir? If we're
You
speaking
knock yourself out, brother.
Yeah, good.
What can I say about these guys? Oh my gosh. No, I just like I told all three of them before. Like I don't have many other friends. Like they did about my entire family. I don't have many other friends outside of my family and people that meet. Like I say, when you have three different gentlemen that have intellect and tell you things of different aspects. Like I said, just period break down to. Like I said, Rick could break something down to like my dad. I be laughing him all the time. I'm like, yo, he sound like my dad. He met him. Like it was funny as hell. Like he was like, man, he like I like. Oh, I said, yeah. You remind me of that. Like Black is the more so the older voice of reason. Like and it's like the things you can learn from people and understand. It's like no one's here prejudging. Like we all can say stuff to each other and not feel a type of way what it is. Like, it's hard to find for Black men of that. Of different ages, like we're all like I said, they're 2 years each other. We're 2 years each other. We're almost like 3.5 years. So like I said, it's different to find of age gap to find that too, and they have related topics. It comes to someone these are the people I come to. Like I could say like, yo, what do I do this for scenario A, B, C, there, and I can actually get something. I could say like, we're both married. I can say, yo, what can I do in this situation here? I can ask Black something like, yo, I done been through these two family situations. We have a big family. Like, yo, what can I do with my family, or what can I do with the third? Like, it's hard to find people that were. No one wants something from each other. Basically, we don't want anything. So it's like I'm like, I gotta get somebody him. I don't have it. Like, I don't need for that. But the need for knowledge and to grow as a person, as a man, you need other men around you to grow, to elevate that. That's what anything in life dealing with that. He tells, and I get that. Like he the youngest of all of us, but he's the oldest, wise one than all of us. Like I talk to him more than anybody. I be like, yo, what do I do with this? We had a conversation like, what the hell do this? He's like, well, he knows.
Start charging him.
This how Aaron hits you like, well, you know. I told you to do this. I'm like, I be like, yeah. But
You do crack me up when you get that face. You be like,
but then it be something where I tell her because I'm older. I be telling I've been Aaron. I'd have been this. She be like, well, I said, Aaron, I've been this. Don't do this. She be like, well, what this? I said, look, I'd have been through this. I said, I'm the one more so wild card that been through more stuff than all of them that do dumb stuff. I'm just a wild card. I do dumb stuff like not dumb stuff more general, but I've been through experience of things like, well, all right. Don't do this. And I tell a story like, well, how do you even do this? I'm like, look, don't worry about it. I've been through it. Just let it be what it is. So it's just, like I say, you don't get that. And everybody knows their role here. It's no person saying like, oh, well, I got to step on my role here and there. Like, we all know our role and what we do here and what we bring to the podcast. And just as friends, period, it's like, you got to know that. And it's like, I don't feel no way about nothing anyone says to me about that because I might feel like, dang, well, he said this way, it do sound right. I'm like, let me just take that. But like, there's no hard feeling for them. Like I say, you tell people something, you could do that. Like I said, nobody's emotional to them. Well, you know what, man, this sucker ass joker told me this. I ain't dealing with them. Like, yeah, I'm saying, but you look at it like I said, that's hard to do. It's hard to do with anything with work, sports, life, period. Like, it's just like you don't get that with people, and that's why I feel like this thing works because we still come together and do certain things. Like, all right, we can all agree on things. We all disagree on stuff. Like, all right, cool. There's no point to be like, man, fuck this nigga. I ain't dealing like we agree, disagree on this. Like nobody has it. Nobody has no animosity, no intention of feeling it or no hate or remorse. Like it's just like, all right, cool. You have your opinion, I respect it. You have your opinion, I respect it. I have my opinion, respect it. All right, cool. What it is, you go through it and we live what it is, and that's what you gotta have with harmony. It's like having like not to say it's like having a boy band. Most people like, all right, cool. Everybody in the damn role, what it is.
All right, Diddy.
It's not Diddy. Diddy doesn't have a boy band. I'm not Diddy. I'm not that. Sorry, no Diddy.
We all 30 plus. What the hell?
So NSYNC is one source. They're a boy band over 40.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, okay. All right. You just saying that, sir.
we're not in sync.
We're in sync, but we're not in sync. We don't have that money.
It's called a give and take relationship.
Rick could be Timberlake anyway.
I just want to say I learned a lot from Rick the last 4 years. Like,
Oh, yeah.
This nigga, no, I'm sorry. But this boy,
Come on, Shannon Sharp. You don't want to curse now, Shannon Sharp.
this boy Rick, he a cheat code. I'm trying to tell you. All right, go ahead, brother.
I mean, one thing I would say, man, like being somebody that's not from this area, I get it. I can see why there's so many successful people that come from this area. Because you guys really just pour into each other in your communities.
What's the area stand, sir?
Philadelphia and the
All
greater
right.
Philadelphia.
All right.
The west side. Tell them,
Philadelphia and the greater
What do you say
Philadelphia
about the
area.
Mm-hmm. What's up?
I will say that y'all really pour into yourselves and y'all pour into your people, man. And you know what I mean? It's crazy. Being, like I said, being somebody that's not originally from here, to see it is like, this is what makes major cities major cities. You know what I mean? This is why your city has the clout that it has in so many different arenas, whether it be sports, entertainment, business, politics. You know what I mean? Whether it's tears, you be alright. Real estate, all these different
yes,
things.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then just like when I first moved here, like I never seen. This might sound funny to people watching this, but I never seen like black mail carriers and like black bus drivers.
Yo, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, granted, because I'm from Jersey. I'm from Atlantic City originally. You know what I mean? We have New Jersey,
stand up.
we have New Jersey Transit and all that stuff. When I was a kid, most of the bus drivers I saw they were white people. You know what I mean? But when I came, and I never saw a mailman, to be honest. You know what I mean? Never saw a mailman when I was a kid, like really. So, you know, when I came here, I saw all these black people with these jobs. I was like, oh, that's what's up. Like, we do these jobs. You know what I mean? So it was just dope just seeing, like, how black people were really doing better for themselves in a city like this. And then just on the music arts tip, what really got me intrigued was that you guys don't put yourself in a box. Like when I was coming up, like you didn't see black people playing the guitar or playing the bass guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe as a little kid or something like that, but you're looking for a professional, like seasoned guitar player. You probably going to Ventnor or Margate or like Egg Harbor Township, and it's probably a white guy doing it. You know what I mean? You don't see your brother like show up to the studio with the guitar or the bass. Like, I got you, brother. What you need? Do. Like that's not about to happen. You know what I mean? When I came to Philly, I'm like I saw that. And I'm like, yo, they like it's black people here playing instruments. Like everybody's not trying to rap. Everybody's actually playing instruments and doing different musical things. You know what I mean? That was just really like vibrant for me to see that. You know what I'm saying? And I really understood the power that you guys have as a community here, and what black people are capable of when we actually like stick together and work together. Because like I said before, when we first started the pod, I'm like, this was not a black podcast. We're all friends by nature, so naturally we have things in common. So we had a common idea to do things to work together. But we come from a train of thought that other people do this job, and it would make sense to have them express themselves and their experience, because that's what makes the show the show. Because one of our podcasts is a postal podcast. It's not a black podcast. It's a postal podcast. You know what I mean? So we reached out to every single person that we know of that does this job in every facet, because it helps the job. It helps the person that's coming into the job who might be doing that craft or doing that position to actually hear somebody that's seasoned, whether it be 3 years, 5 years, 25 years, 30 years. Your experience is your experience, but it's probably something more than a person that's never been in this job that might be filling out the application.
It seems like the majority of our guests have had like 20 plus years of experience. That's what it seems like.
Yes.
It's like they got more to share and say.
Yeah, and they were willing to share it. You know what I'm saying? Like, which I said, like, my hat's off to those individuals that were willing to share it. You know what I mean? If you watch the show, if you've been keeping up with the show, you've seen who these people are. You know what I mean? So you have to think about the trials and tribulations that you have to go through, being someone from where we're from, trying to do something positive and trying to, not only uplift the job in a positive light, in a real sense, because everything's not good, everything's not bad. You know what I mean? Like let's just call it for what it is. And that's what we base our show on. Like we're not going to sit out here and try to give you guys just all the good. Like there's nothing bad with the post office. Of course there's something bad with the post office. Something bad with everything. There's something bad with ice cream.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh God.
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But it's like the real thing is to give you both sides of the coin. And the people that you saw on this show so far are the people that were willing to give you the both sides of the coin. So just take that into account as you continue to watch the show, of the level of integrity and honesty that these people have, and their willingness to come on here and give you the information, because they're not worried about you getting ahead of them, or worried about you getting a leg up, or worried about you getting your pockets better. Because you can make a life for yourself. As we said plenty of times on the show, you make a life for yourself doing this job. You can provide for your family in a proper way, and you don't have to live, behind the 8 ball when you're doing this job. But you got to put some work in too. Nothing's coming easy. You got to work for it.
It'll make you work for it.
You know what I'm saying? But that's part of it. That's the merry-go. I always say they make it hard for you.
Yep.
Well, no, I just feel like the people that come on to a podcast, it's more so. I don't feel like not to offend anybody. I feel like it's more the maturity factor. Like people can experience it. Like it's just more so expressing yourself, giving dialogue, how you explain things, and not being caught up into your emotions or your situation. You deal with things like that. Like I said, the more mature you have, mature conversations. It's not more so being like Rick said. The touch on it's not ratchet. It's not negativity, but we talk about things that maybe not be the proper thing to say. But it's like we talk the line with it. So it's like you come on these things. You come on this podcast to understand certain things of maturity level. All right, how do I express myself as a human being, as a man or female, basically? Share my experience, share my detail of what I'm doing here in this point where I'm not feeling misogynistic or feel like I'm being emotional or feel like I'm criticizing one. But like I said, it's certain things you can explain yourself a certain way to get your message across. And that's what it is. We give that people. And I feel like people get so much caught in their own heads and feel like, well, how am I going to say this? Or I don't want to say this. Like, I think I'm going to say this and third. Like, we give you a detailed guideline of what not to and say that, basically, so you can get your message across. So the thing is, you never know what you might say or what you might say to someone, basically, that might relate to somebody in California, North Dakota, South Carolina, wherever. Like I said, one message of what it is can relate to it. I said the problem, the thing of it is, as long as we can reach one person, what it is, that's the key thing that matters. We're here to experience, we're here to share our experience of within the job, what we do, how we go through day-to-day details of what it goes on, how it affects us as a person, how it affects us sometimes at home, here, or going forward. It's people that quit the job. We talk about that. It's just different revenues, different arms. Like I said, it's an octopus of things that you can do and experience with people that we can share with you. And people gotta be stop being afraid to be in their own head of like, well, I'm in front of a camera. I'm like, my thing is, if you want to get on, you can't. Like one thing I said, Rick, you can't be camera shy. You can't. You can't be camera shy. You can't.
Let me add that we purposely, because we understand that not everybody is good at public speaking, we purposely on our own reached out to individuals. We felt like, well, you do this job in the post office, which requires you to talk to people.
Yep.
So we asked these people in with the intention of, hey, you would be a perfect person to have on camera talking because your job involves you having to explain things to people in the job.
And detail too.
But they decline to do it. You know what I mean? That's not because they don't trust themselves to say the right thing. I think they're worried about the clout we might get from it or the empowerment that we might get from it. And it just reminds you of some of the things we still have to deal with in this country when you're trying to do something positive. You know what I mean? But you can't let that discourage you. You can't let that make you not want to keep going towards your mission. Just understand it's not going to be easy.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can say a lot of things have changed, but a lot of things haven't. And you find out when you start moving towards power, doing things in a positive light with your, with your heart right.
I got it, Drake.
Oh God.
So, do you guys have a favorite episode that we've done over the years?
I guess y'all want to start out when we go. My favorite one actually was the funny one. The first two ones. I had two actually. The first one was very because we didn't know what we were doing. And I think
What was the first one?
The first one was more so just Louis the Joy because the first one was about talking about him basically. The second one was more so Charleston. Like those two were funny because the fact of we were just raw and talking about certain things and just detail saying things about how we felt about it. It was just like seeing each other's opinion on what we were saying. Like wow, like this how you feel about so and so. We didn't know we didn't go in detail and say, well, you're gonna say this, you're gonna say this, you're gonna say this and that. We went in just like, all right, just free base, like, oh, what do you want to say about this? And
Can I say that Rick has finally came to my side on the Charleston White thing?
oh yeah, but that's another story. But that first being we didn't know because my thing is, I was more so scared. I'm like, yo, how are we gonna put this out there? Like, because when they put Charleston White put his face out, I'm like, yo, are we gonna get sued? I was like, I was the most scared.
I had that covered.
But I was the scared one. I'm like, yo, I was telling him, I'm like, yo, Rick really put this shit out with this damn dude for his face. I'm like, we talking. I'm like, yo, we about to get sued. I said, damn. I said, I'm not doing my lawyer. I'm like, relax. He's like, yo, chill. You're not going to get. He's like, look, as long as you cover his eyes. So I'm like, all right, whatever.
I was worried about something.
I had to worry. The hell, I'm like, shit. At the time, he was popping me. That was a year ago. He was really one of the hottest topics on social media at the time. So it was like, all right, cool. Those two were my first one because I feel like it was just raw and authentic, and we were giving our aspect of what we felt. Like I said, we was like, all right, I'm gonna give you how I feel about it. So be it. And it's just as time you grow and you grow into your role and detail what you feel about certain things. Because now you know, all right, I can't say this because of that third. You read details. I can't this guideline. That third too. So it's just as you grow, you learn more things. But I feel like once you start off, because you're so enthusiastic and so hyped to get to, like, oh, yo, I got to say what I got to say, man. I ain't feel what I got to say. You know what you want to say. I know I'm going to say. And that's what it's more so of it.
Well, I don't actually have a favorite episode. I have favorite moments.
All right now. All right now.
Like one of my favorite moments is, I think it was Mr. Gray's episode, the OJI episode. When you was talking about one of the girls that he was training and she was expecting to only do 4 hours, like other carriers that were getting trained by the OJI. Like, no, you do the whole route. And how she started like holding the mail and dragging her bag, not having it on her shoulder. That was hilarious to me. And because I've actually seen that at another station, and I laughed at that too. Like I had other situations that I mostly like the episodes where I learned a lot. Like that last union one we had. I learned, with Tim, I learned a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot that one, and I learned a lot from when we had the other union one we had with
Jimmy Tom.
Learned a lot
Very,
about
very controversial.
I learned a lot about the union on that side too, and so I learned a lot from the Nancy episode too about the driver training. So I mostly like the ones that I learned certain things from, but I like the funny ones too. Like it's a lot of funny moments out there where, because we try to throw some funny things in there because you want to be serious, but you don't want to be serious 24/7. That's draining.
Yeah.
So it's
Hard copy.
hard copy. But we've been doing a lot this past year, and I enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? More years to come. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I got like Brandon said, I got 2 favorites. You know what I mean? And the first one I'd say when we had the retired manager come on our podcast, he had over 35 years experience.
Oh yeah.
And to me, that set the tone because off the gate, people might want to think that this podcast is just carriers, just crack employees venting about the job, whatever. Like, this is a real postal podcast because we got somebody that's from the other side, quote unquote, with 35 years of experience in the job, so he knows what he's talking about. He can talk to you about anything you want to know about the job. The fact that he showed up and was willing to, give his perspective on what he thought about the job from an honest opinion just showed the level of professionalism we had with the pod. And then the second moment was when we had the union president from Delaware come through. You know what I mean? Like, that set another precedent in how serious we are and how professional this pod is. So that we can reach someone on that level that can give you some information that you might not get probably from wherever you are in your district learning about the job. And the fact that these people were willing to, assist us in our mission of trying to get what we're trying to get through the job to people that are trying to do the job, just once again shows their level of integrity and honor and respect they have for the job itself and for the people that are willing to do this job and become part of this, we call it a postal family, so to speak. Because if you're calling it a family, you should act as a family.
Right.
You should assist each other as a family. You should work together for the betterment of your family members, quote unquote.
Greater good.
Oh, that's corny because those are my 2 favorite episodes too. But I'll say something different just because he said it.
All right now. You got other favorite ones you can say, brother. I know you do. I know you got other ones.
I mean,
It could be the same, man.
it really is the
No,
same.
but he got other ones he's gonna say. I know what other ones he got to say.
All right, you tell me, brother.
One of those Brandon moments.
I think one of your favorite ones was
Yeah.
the Mississippi episode.
Oh yeah.
With him with Mississippi. I know that. We
That's a
talked
good
about
one,
that.
yeah.
That was one of the favorite ones.
That was a funny one, yo.
That was in Ole Miss, Mr. And then I'm trying to think. What was the one where he went in? Where I think like this. So I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think. The one utility. I'm trying to think which one. I'm trying to read.
My favorite episode definitely was the Tim episode.
Okay.
When he came there. I learned a whole lot from that, John. I was like, all right.
I'm sure a lot of our viewers did too.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! It took him
They
instinct.
said, what? But Nancy, I say Nancy. Nancy was a great one too.
Yeah, I think a lot of the fans like that one too.
That's
That was very detailed on what goes on with it.
Yeah, I was.
She gave indirect too.
Yeah, a lot of information. Yep.
So I mean, you guys gotta think about it. You know, there are a bunch of different podcasts out there that do the postal thing, but I think it's only like one person per pod. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah,
that's what
only-
makes us different is because it's four of us, so you get four different perspectives. And I think that's why we were able to get as many subscribers as we did, as fast as we did, as early as we did.
I did not think that was gonna happen.
Yeah. Shout
Yeah,
out to Brandon on that one with the
Oh,
market.
thank you, man.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you.
Yeah, like, shout out to Brandon on the market.
Hard work pays off. Hard work pays off. It's still not done yet. Not done yet.
Of course not. We still have a ways to go. You know, we're only 1 year in. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to keep getting better, get bigger, get sharper. You know what I mean? That's what comes when you put in work. You know, you put in work to get better.
All right, so
Work hard, play hard.
what's something y'all would like to see the podcast do like within the next year, like as far as anything here?
Well, I like to, you know, get some more postal diversity in our pod and different crafts. Like we said, we're still trying to get clerks. We're still trying to get mail handlers. You know, we're still trying to talk to people that are in different positions and different perspectives of different unions and different crafts. You know what I mean? Eventually, we would love to get like somebody that's on a higher level, like a DC position. You know what I mean? People from the VP, executive, you know,
We'd
branches.
love to get Louis DeJoy on here.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Even something of that nature.
Give us some
what I mean?
real, like a
Yeah,
real break.
Because you can go on the show and you can talk about the numbers. You can talk about, you know, how the job works, you know, how we go into negotiation with contracts from your viewpoint. Because we kind of understand from our viewpoint what we want done. What is your counter, you know, to that point? You know what I mean? I think these are things that people that want to hear about. Because you just can't think that people are just basic minded. Some people do have an advanced understanding of certain topics regardless of where they are in their postal careers. You know what I mean? I think it's just the right thing to do in terms of sharing your information with people. So I like to see people actually get on here and actually show people that might look like them that, hey, we do this job too. You know what I mean? Like, when you think about doing the job, try the job out. Because this is what I experienced being this type of person doing this job. You know, I think that'd be very helpful to people going forward.
I don't know. What would I like to see more of on the pod? I don't know. Well, we kind of do a lot. We kind of do a lot. And Rick just covered a lot.
Yeah.
I'm thinking because I was thinking of stuff and he was saying stuff. He takes ideas, you know. Like he's one of his favorite rappers. But anyway,
He wants to come back to you?
yeah, go ahead.
Well, let's see more. So, my thing is, I see more people just tell us what they want to, as far as dialogue from us more so. I feel like we give people a lot of things, and I feel like people are scared to give us feedback. My thing is, I want to the point where we can reach out to different carriers. Like I said, I don't want it to be more as like we're being closed-minded on just one certain topic. Like I said, we ask people what more do you want and what more can we do. Like I said, it's a struggle with me, basically, like kind of advertising a podcast. And people like, well, what do you want to hear? Like my thing is, I have this struggle because my wife's a carrier, so I'm like, well, when you get home from work, what do you want to hear from somebody? Like, what do you want to hear as far as topic-wise? Like I say, like, we want us, four of us to bring into you guys in your home, basically, to feel like, all right, cool. We're not overwhelming with podcasts, postal stuff, basically, but it's something that makes people relief, basically, feel like, all right, well, cool. I can listen while I'm walking the route. I can listen while I'm with my child. I can listen while I'm doing my daily workout routine, basically. What more do you want from us? Because I said, you're not going to find an aspect or a revenue like four of us, basically. You can have somebody, one, telling you things, controlling dialogue, controlling their monologue, what they're saying. But four people, you get different opinions because if you have four different people, you can feel like, all right, well, damn, he said something, this I relate to it, or I said something, or he said, or vice versa. Like, you gotta have more than just one opinion controlling the monologue or the dialogue, what somebody's saying to you in the content. So my thing is, what do you want? Like I said, we try different things, variation of stuff. Like, we have numerous occasions of discussion of, well, we can give people this different, like, or we can this, the third, or what do you want to hear that? Like, break down. Like, there's nothing wrong with feedback. That's what makes anything happen. That's what makes anything grow, basically, with feedback. You need feedback and dialogue from people, from your consumer, your content, whatever it is, you need that. And we need that, period, because we're trying to grow. We're not just here for a good time. I want to be here for a long time. And that's period.
One thing I would like to see is I got two things. So one, I would like to see some live broadcasts, whether we traveling, going to visit, like
You sure you ready for that, brother?
I'm ready for it.
I'm just saying we had a discussion. You should have heard, brother. Okay.
Don't worry about it.
All right. I mean, I'm going to decide already. I'm ready, brother.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I would like to see some live broadcasts, and I would like to see us basically host basketball tournaments. On the route basketball tournament.
Yo, it's not a bug run.
On Sundays.
It's not a bug
All right.
I know where you get.
We get some sponsorships. You know what I mean? We can host because I'm sick of it. All right.
Whatever.
My man Gray, we talking a lot of stuff.
Whatever.
So we can host it. We can go get an open gym and station to station play basketball. And on the route podcast host it and we broadcast. We call it game.
I would like to see that.
The commentators.
I would like to see that.
Commentators. All right, cool. All right.
No, I'm playing.
I'll play. I'll play
You can
commentator.
commentate. I'm playing.
It's all right. Okay.
All right now. Anything else?
Anything?
Anything else?
I don't know. Y'all covered it, man.
All right, that's cool.
Well, I thank y'all for always rocking with us. You know what I mean? Keep rocking with us. As I said, we're gonna keep getting bigger and better.
Keep rising to the top.
You know what I mean? Keep getting more professional, more crispy with this thing. You know what I mean? If you like this episode, which I'm pretty sure you might, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and by all means, like Brandon said, comment. Tell us what you think. Let us know what's going on with you so we can get back with you, man. And let my brother say the last words. We out of here.
Yeah, this is Black. You know what I'm saying? This is probably one of my more enjoyable podcasts. Be able to talk about our experiences throughout the year with this podcast and, hopefully, keep it going, get more subscribers, get more listeners, more feedback, and make this podcast do what it do.
I just want to say I believe in these brothers. Like I said, I believe. So we're just going to keep giving you what we give you. So I believe.
All right. I just want to give a shout out to all our guests. Lou, Tom, Jen, Tim, Mr. Gray, Nancy. Probably forget other people's names. Huh?
Derek.
Derek. Yeah. And Jason. Q-Ball.
That's Jason.
J-Dub.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all checking in with us, man, on the Route Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.